Okay, so let me give you guys an update. I did a little bit of work on it. I didn't like the way the anchors looked, so I smoothed them down so they would be flush. Because in the ship, there's like these little compartments the anchors retract into, and you can't see them from the profile. So I wanted to make sure that they were even. So that's a little bit better. I also brought down the wheelhouse, and I wanted to leave that little bit of a slope to it a bit. So I took down, because the wheelhouse was about that high, and it just didn't look right because it was one level. You'd walk in through the deck, through the side door, and you would be at the helm. So I had wanted to look a little more realistic, so we did that. Plus now it looks more in scale, because before the wheelhouse was almost as high as the smokestack, and that just didn't really look right. So I think this is the proportion that I had wanted. It looks more in scale. And I also did something on the back. The Edmund Fitzgerald has the anchors in the back, but also had like something up underneath the center of the ship. I'm not quite sure what it was, but there was something there. And I had to leave a space because we're going to put Edmund Fitzgerald on the back, but we're going to be doing that in another video, the decals. So, and I also puttied up little areas, and when it's totally dry, we'll sand the whole thing smooth before we prime it. But what I want to do now is I want to put the doors and the windows on the wheelhouse. And I'm going to be using this is the gold metal models, and I had gotten this off Amazon, and this was actually perfect for what I had wanted. This is 1/400 scale, and let me show you guys. See the little doors, the little circle? I know it's going to be tough to see. And we have the little panels that I'm going to use as the windows that are going to go on the front and on the sides right down here. So there's going to be a door on either side of the wheelhouse. So I think what I want to do is we're going to cut out 2 of the doors. Definitely need light for this. And I want to get it. Maybe I'll use the magnifying glass for this. There. Maybe 1/400 scale, but it's still pretty tiny. And let me show you guys the doors. If I can get them into my hand. Man, these are tiny. Alright, so what I want to do is we're going to put a dab of glue. And I want to get the right side. I want the side with the texture going on. There. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a little dab of the glue. And it's going to go right here. So hopefully you guys can see the door. I know it's really hard to see. And I want to do the same thing for the other side now. Just a drop. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so I think now we're going to do the windows. And they had the windows on the front. So let's see, I think we have room for, let's see. Let's start out with 4. Looks like we're going to have room for 4 of them. So again, we'll use the magnifying glass, and I'll take out 4 of the panels. All right, so we got 4 of them. And those are going to go in the front. I hope you guys can see that so far. I think I'm going to put 1 more on either side, so we'll end up with 5 of them. So I need to take 1 more. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know the light, let's put the light out and see if it makes a difference. So we got the door on the side, and then we have the windows up front. And there are the round windows that are on the sides. They're like the circles, the portholes. So let's see, I gotta do a couple of the little portholes. We got 2 of them. And I'll take you off the tripod in a minute to show you how they look. Make sure we get the finished side. And that's going to go on the side of the door. I'm going to put just a little speck of glue. Do the same thing for the other side, but I want it there. We get the finished side. So I'm going to put just a little speck of glue again on this side. There. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I'm going to hold off on the back of the wheelhouse because I want to make sure that I get it right. I don't know if there's a door or there are more windows. There are probably more windows so you can look at the back, but I want to make sure. So I'm going to hold off on doing that for now. But what we can put, remember when I told you guys about the raft? We got a teeny tiny little life raft that's going to go at the wheelhouse. So that would be this one right here. So let's gingerly take it off the tree. And let's see, I want to clean that up just a little bit. There. And this is going to go right on the back in the center. What I'm going to do is we're going to make it lean up ever so slightly against the back of the wheelhouse, only because, remember, we got to put the hand railings in. So I'm going to make sure that this is going to be okay. So if we leave it like that, it is in the right location. And what we can still be able to do is we'll still be able to put the hand railing up around the wheelhouse, and then we have to put it up on top. And now, what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of glue, a drop, to just solidify it into place now, because that's a really tiny part and we don't want that coming off. So why don't we put some glue? And that's going to kind of see that? Let me put the light out. Yeah. Again, we get the wheelhouse, the little door, the window's out front. And there are portholes now that are on the side of the first floor, or the bottom of the boathouse. So what I want to do is we're going to put, let's see, how many do we have? Because we need some for the back as well. We got 4 more, so I'm going to put 2 on either side. So let's cut these out. Again, I'm going to need the help of the light and the magnifying glass. So the side we can see the most, let me get the light out of here. Alright, let me put the glue. Hopefully you guys can see the little windows, little portholes. Alright, this side it's gonna be a little. Alright, hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's really tiny. Okay. Now when it comes to the railing, let me show you guys what I want to do. So I have, this is called Art Walks model, and this is the 1/400 scale, and it's actually the railing. So it was important to me to get railing in there. And I was thinking of different ways to make it. I thought of everywhere from using wire with string to nails, but this is pretty much the best. And it's in scale, and it's relatively inexpensive. So that was a good point. So what I want to do is, I want to take out a piece, and they put it in this plastic wrap that might be a little bit tricky to get off. Okay, that was an ordeal. Alright. So again, I want to use the light and the magnifying glass, and we're going to put railing around the wheelhouse. So let's distinguish the bottom, get all the plastic out. We got a section now of the railing. And I think what we should do is we should do probably the easiest end first. Actually, let me show it to you guys. And again, this is so small. So I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of the railing. That's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to put it onto the section. And I've never done this before, so I hope this this holds. So that's right up against the edge. I don't know if you guys can be able to see it better like that. This is pretty tricky for me. Like I said, I never did this before. I want it to be, I want it to look good. So we have the railing going along the side, the boathouse, the starboard side, wrapping around the back. Coming around the starboard side. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it around and we're going to bring it in to the front so we can connect it. We're going to cut it a little bit longer than the other piece so we can wrap it around. So right there, you can see we have some more railing to work with. Alright, so what I want to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue in the front. You see it's not the Instacure, it's because I'm putting too much, so it's taking longer to set up. But I'm really going to be able to tell all the flaws when I zoom in. And I'm going to take you guys off the tripod. We're going to zoom in and I'm going to show you guys the railing around the wheelhouse. So tentatively, right now, I don't know if it'd be better with the light off. So hopefully you guys can see the railing that's going around the wheelhouse into the back. We have the life raft, and the glue is starting to set up, and then coming around to the port side. So we got the portholes in on the first level and the side walls. We got the door, if it wants to focus, there we go. We got the door on the side of the wheelhouse. We got the port window on the side of it. Coming around, we have the windows that are in the front. The railing. Let me show you guys the other side. We got the other portholes on the first level of the wheelhouse. We got the door. We got the porthole. Like I said, I'm going to check the blueprints to see if, because I'm almost positive there are windows on the back of the wheelhouse, but I want to make sure. And we're going to check the blueprints because we're going to have to do on top of the wheelhouse. There's going to be more railing, and there's actually going to be the radar and certain things that are going to go in the front. So when it comes to the photo etch, the wheelhouse, that's about it. There might be a couple of little things that we do on the bottom. I think they're like generators. I'm not sure if they're on the deck with the hatches or if they're on the deck with the life raft. But we're going to do a couple of those things. And I'm going to check the blueprints so we can do the mast, not the mast, or the mizzen mast. Do they have that on these ships? Or what I'm thinking of? Anyway, there's a long section or piece that comes out of her bow. So my friends, that'll be in the next video. We're going to let all this dry and then we're going to add to it. Like I said, we'll do the top of the wheelhouse and we'll add some more detail to the ship.